Okay, so we have our maple tree and it has its leaves on it. Now we are going to make this so it can move, like it's blowing in the wind slightly. So what we're going to do first is select these leaves on this lower branch and the branch itself. I'm going to have to get that out of here. It's probably better anyways. Don't want a light source in your tree. Alright, so now we're going to go Control and click these out of here. Alright, so I think we got all of these leaves that are connected to this branch. Now we're going to hold Shift and right click on this branch here. We're going to hit Control P and we're going to parent all the leaves to the branch. So it parents everything that's selected to the last thing that's selected. And then we'll do the same with this branch to the trunk. Control P. And we're just going to do the same. We're going to do the same process here with all of these limbs. So there we go. Looks like we got all those there. Just like that. Control P. This branch, like that. Control P. Alright. And I'm going to speed this process up so you don't have to actually watch all of this. Okay, so everything is parented to everything else, and you can test it by just clicking on this trunk area and then moving side to side. Everything goes with it, then you're good to go. Also, you can take like a branch like this and you can rotate, and you can see that all the leaves go with it. You can do that with any of the individual branches, and all of the bits should be moving with that particular branch that's off of those. Mine I actually have, because I needed some filler, so I actually have some of the leaves just coming right off of the trunk itself. That's all just preference and how you do it, and you can do multiple different types. Like you could have a smaller set of leaves, and then you can have a set of bigger leaves or whatever. But I just used one set to make this kind of quick. So let's start animating this. So what we're going to do here is we're going to open up a second window here. We're going to change this to dope sheet, and let's scale this down a little bit. Yeah, 50. Let's actually bring it back up a little bit. Or back, yeah, bring it down more. So, okay. So we can clearly see 0 to 100. That's the range I think we're gonna work with. 100 frames, that should be fine. All right. So let's take this first branch here, and for this just demonstration, I'm just going to rotate it. But first, let's take. All right. So down here in the key section, we are going to do lock and rot. So that will, every time we hit I, it'll make a keyframe for our location and a rotation. We're not going to be scaling anything in this, and we're probably not going to be changing location necessarily, but the rot is what's really important, but you know, we'll cover ourselves with location as well. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this branch and just raise it up ever so slightly, and just leave it there. We could probably just leave it where it was, but whatever. Have it where you want it to be for the top part. So like when it's blowing to the left. All right, then we hit I, and it puts a nice little keyframe for us right up here on the first. This is on keyframe 1. All right, and then if we go to, let's go to 50. So yeah, the stuff popped up. but type in 50 here, and that'll go jump us to 50 there. And then we have this selected still, so we rotate that and just bring it down just a little bit, not too much. And then hit I again, and again it sets our keyframes. And then we go to 100, and this time what we're going to do is we're going to have these selected. So just right click on the ones you want to select, and then hit Shift D to duplicate them, and then it goes right over 100. So as you can see down, you just want to go right over this green line basically, and just put those there. All right, so then we can change this to 100, and so it does the whole max range. Actually, we want to do that to 99 because we copied number 1 and 100, so it'd be a double frame, and we don't want that. So we're going to play this through and see how it just kind of bows a little bit and comes back, and bows a bit and comes back. Not super exciting, but it doesn't really have to be. It's just some bowing. Alright, so now I'm going to stop that, and we are going to go to the game logic system. Alright, and here with that bow or whatever limb selected, I'm going to go add sensor, I'm going to go always and controller, and then here we're going to go down and we're going to change action. There we go. And then click on this little funky thing here, and that's where the dope editor comes in, and it's cylinder 1 action. You can name all this stuff. I didn't really name it, so it just shows up as cylinder 1 action. And what we want to do is we want to set the frames. So start frame is 1, and then our end frame is 99. Okay, and for play we're going to go loop end. So it's going to loop until it ends. I don't know. I don't really understand that because it doesn't make sense really. But if you want to stop the loop, then you just use loop stop. So if you have some action that it calls, like if you hit the B key or something like that, then you can stop the loop probably. We have this click, so it's always on, it's and then does this action. So we go to our game, start our game, and the bow just bows slightly. There we go. And we can do individual ones for these pieces as well. So let's say we have this one here. Let's change this to the dope sheet editor. Alright, so this one, we'll go here, we'll go, oops. So we're on the first frame, and that's selected. See, as soon as we hit I over here, it adds this plane 11. Like I said before, you can label all this stuff if you want. If you're going in sequence like this and you aren't going to change it, you don't need to label everything. If you are planning on changing anything, it is a good process to label stuff because there are a lot of meshes here, just so you know. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to rotate this. I'm going to rotate this on the y-axis, and let's see, it's going up first. So yeah, let's have that up just a little bit. I to redo that, and then we'll go to 50. So 50, and we'll rotate that on the Y just a little bit more down, and I, and then at 100 we will copy this. So Shift D actually to duplicate it, not copy, and then paste that there. Alrighty, and then we can go and we can select it. We're going to add an always sensor, add an and sensor, or controller rather, and then go to action, and we're going to go 0, 1, 1 plane action, start frame 1, end frame 99, and play is going to be loop and connect all of these and start the game. And as you can see, I can't move my mouse in front of it, but the branch moves and then the leaf moves independently slightly. So I would suggest having these actions on the actual planes themselves, because when I tried to do it with the actual object here, it threw it in an awkward way. And so yeah, I would say definitely keep the sensors and actuators and all that stuff on the individual planes that you want to affect, at least for this particular project. All right, well, that is that. You can do the same thing for everything on this tree, so the whole thing is moving independently, you know, with all the other branches and whatnot. I hope you found this useful. If you did, like our page, or like this video, subscribe to our page, and yeah, look forward to making more. All right, this is Kyle with 5 Minute Guide.